What's up, guys? Welcome to the Start Today podcast. I'm your host, Chris Cavallini. Today, I'm going solo. I'm going to keep it short, and I'm going to hit you in the mouth with a dose of reality. Guys, if this is your first time listening, welcome and thank you. I highly encourage you to go back, listen to the first few episodes. That'll give you a better idea of who I am and what we're about. But today, I wanted to address something that I feel is very important, and I'm going to say it the way that I want to say it. I'm not going to try to spare anyone's feelings. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm not going to try to pander to the sensitive, delicate pussies out there who can't accept reality and life for what it really is, okay? Because the fact is this: if you want to win in life, if you want to become successful, if you want to continuously step your game up and reach the next level, you're going to have to think, speak, and act like a fucking savage. All right? Guys, changing your life is tough. I know all about that, okay? I'm not discounting that fact, and I will go even further than that and say that changing your life could potentially be the most difficult thing that you will ever do. All right? But it will, in fact, go from difficult to impossible if you do not stop making excuses, okay? The most obvious sign to the universe that someone is not ready and prepared to go to the next level in any regard is if that individual makes excuses. Now, I'm not just talking about excuses in the sense of, I didn't have an education or I didn't have the support or whatever, so I'll never be wildly successful. No, I'm not talking about that. That's a whole other thing that we will get into. I'm talking about the little day-to-day excuses that people make to justify just their substandard performance, the fact that they fell short, the fact that they're not willing to own the outcome of their own actions. Because listen, here's the thing. Winners make adjustments, not excuses. And the fact is, if you're someone who, when you fall short with something, or you don't do something the right way, and then you're asked about it, and then you go into defense mode and start coming up with every reason and excuse or justification, dude, you're fucking yourself. You are fucking yourself over big time, because although the things that you might be saying in the moment are true, they might actually be factual, they're excuses. They're not justifiable causes that actually influenced the substandard outcome that your actions manifested. All right? Because at the end of the day, if you fall short with something, it is your responsibility. If in fact you want to be a winner, if in fact you want to be a fucking savage, if in fact you want to accomplish success at the absolute fucking highest level in any or every area of life, you have to own your outcomes, whether that's good or bad, all right? Because in order to win at the highest level, you not only have to act and think like a fucking winner, you have to speak like one, okay? Think for a moment about the people that you look up to, the people that, that you feel are, extremely successful and, for whatever reason, they inspire you in some way, shape, or form. Can you imagine them ever making some weak fucking excuse for a substandard performance? No, I didn't think so. So what gives you the right? Why do we do these things? Why do we feel it's necessary to defend ourselves at every waking fucking moment when we're not even being attacked? To me, when I hear people making excuses about little fucking things, I don't hear it very much because, in personal responsibility was the acceptance of personal responsibility, taking responsibility was one of the things, probably the biggest thing that allowed me to take control of my life and build and create a better future. I in turn made extreme ownership, which is basically personal responsibility on steroids, a core value of my company. So the team here, they know what time it is. They know better than to make excuses. So I don't hear it very much, but every once in a while I do. It's like, I know that person, like, and look, I'm not going to say it doesn't happen in the company. It absolutely fucking does. It happens with some of my own people, and it's addressed because I hold them to a high standard. That the rest of the team, they hold each other to a high standard, because the fact is, if people are making excuses in any regard for any specific thing, that it's not like a one thing, like, okay, well, I didn't do this and whatever. Like, that's a pattern, that's a trait, that's a characteristic that person is most likely deploying in every other area of their life. And honestly, it's self-sabotage, because every time that you make an excuse for something, whether it's an outcome that you fell short on, an action that you failed to take, right? Whether you don't have the time to put in the work to get your fitness on point, whether you feel that you don't have enough time because of your family, because of all your responsibilities to do the work that you need to do to go above and beyond, to get recognized, to get promoted, to get that raise, whatever the case is. Every time that you attempt to justify mediocrity and substandard performance, you are basically hardwiring your physiology on a biomechanical level to accept that as reality. Okay. And what does that mean? I'm going to briefly just go into that so you guys understand. When, we say things like, we're trying to justify why other people are successful in certain areas and we're not. And then, we talk about or think about things like, oh, well, if I had the time, or if I didn't have like these responsibilities, if I didn't have the family and all this shit, like, I'd be able to do that. And then, well, because I can't, this is how it's going to be. And when you say those things, not only are you thinking about that, like that shitty picture of what your life will look like, you're going to feel those feelings and experience those feelings of what your future is going to look like in that negative context. And that is a very, very dangerous thing. All right. Taking your life to the next level starts with taking responsibility over every fucking thing, because your life is your responsibility. Nobody's coming to fucking save you. And if you want to start making these changes, if you want to start moving your life forward, honestly, the best piece of advice I would give somebody that is just starting out, that literally is going from being in a very average place with average circumstances, the first thing that I would tell them to work on is to stop making excuses, stop trying to justify their current circumstances, stop trying to justify their initial responses as to why they feel they can't. You got to stop with the fucking excuses, period. And I realize this isn't something that can just happen overnight. It's something that it has to be developed. It's something that has to be made a priority. But honestly, by doing this, guys, your entire fucking life will change. If you make an excuse, if you catch yourself in the moment trying to, justify, oh, well, no, just catch yourself, take a deep breath, own it, and say, this one is on me. I'm going to fix it. All right. Because nobody is expecting you to be perfect. Nobody is expecting you not to fall short. Nobody is expecting you not to fuck things up. Like, you're going to fuck things up. If you're out there getting after it, making moves, you're going to fuck things. You're going to fuck a lot of things up. Honestly, I'm like the heavyweight champion of fuck ups. But when you fuck things up, it is important to quickly recognize that the reason things were fucked up was not because, you weren't given the time to do what you need to do. You weren't given the support. You weren't given proper instructions or resources or whatever other convenient excuse is quick to come to mind. Okay. You were the problem. And just like you are the creator of all of your life's problems, you are in fact the gatekeeper of the solutions of all of those problems as well. All right, guys, here's the thing. As convenient as it is to want to blame your parents, your past, your boss, your genetics for the reason you're not able to get ahead or advance or step things up in any area of your life, the fact is it's not true. It's your fault. Your life is your fault. And honestly, that should not discourage you. That should not make you feel feelings of resentment. That should not make you feel sad. That should actually empower you. Because just like you got yourself in the situation that you're currently in, regardless of where you're at, all right, we're talking about getting to the next level now. So it doesn't matter where you're at. This applies to everybody. Just like you got yourself there, you have the ability and opportunity to make some very simple adjustments that will help you elevate your life, raise your standards, and just begin to start creating the habits and the traits of a fucking savage, which is what is basically needed for you to kick ass in life and experience the best of what this life has to offer. All right? Because although your parents may not have hugged you enough, right? Although they may not have given you the support that you needed, and now like you want to blame them for, like, dude, what's in the past is in the past. Your parents probably did the best they could with what they had, okay? So although you couldn't control what your parents did bringing you up, you have the ability to control how you respond to it and where you go from here, all right? And honestly, your past is just that. Regardless of what has happened to this point of your life, you have the ability today to begin a new chapter, to start creating a new story, a new narrative that, look, you're the author. You can write anything you want. You can take your life any direction that you want to take it to. So why not take it up? All right. And your boss, right, the one who, you feel maybe isn't giving you enough recognition and hasn't, given you a raise, whatever. Listen, the fact that you haven't gotten a raise does not have anything to do with your boss. It has nothing to do with the company that's holding you back or doesn't appreciate you, or like, people are go around saying, oh, well, I know my worth. And dude, listen, if in fact you are in the same place and you have not moved up financially, not been given an opportunity for a promotion, has nothing to do with anyone else except you. All right. You are the one who makes the decision every day to show up at the last possible minute, right? To leave at right when the clock hits 5 o'clock. You are the one who makes a decision to do just what's required to not get in trouble, right? Just to check all the boxes and do your job. You make the decision just to do your job. Doing your job is what the fuck you're paid to do. Why would anybody ever pay you more to do the same fucking things that you have been doing and you've been getting paid at? Why? It doesn't work that way, all right? If you want more for yourself, you have to fucking do more. All right, you have to outwork every single person around you. You have to go above and beyond and look for opportunities to add value, to justify an increase in your current compensation. Go above and beyond to take things off your boss's plate, to step up when somebody calls out and they're short staffed. You're the guy or girl that your boss knows that they can rely on. Right? Like, be the one to work off the clock if for some reason, your company, like if you're in a hourly paying position and they won't pay any overtime. That is the mentality that you need to have. That is the savage mentality that you need to possess if in fact you do want those things. But most of you don't really want it. You just say you want it. You want more money, but you don't want to put in the fucking work that's required to get there. All right? Fix that. And the last thing, your genetics. Look, there's no denying genetics play a role into developing, the way that we look to a certain degree, right? Like our natural physical bodies will look a certain way based off of our genetics, all right? But good genetics or bad, you have the ability to put in the fucking work by putting the right foods in your mouth on a daily basis and taking your ass to the gym, pushing yourself hard, doing the work, like getting well out of your comfort zone and doing what you have to do to look the fucking way you want to look, okay? So own that, embrace that, All right? Like, relish that because it is a beautiful fucking thing. Guys, look, at the end of the day, here's the deal. Losers on the left, savages on the right. It's one or the other. Take your pick. Drop pen.